Hi guys, today we're exploring the beauties of cross-chain DeFi and decentralized native token swaps, powered by Dorado Market. They have announced their token airdrop for their Dorado Market power users, so we will see how we can qualify and actually understand what's going on behind the scenes and why we need this technology and why it's so revolutionary for the current state of the crypto markets. Also, near the end, we'll be talking about liquid staking on Kujira. As you can see, there's 500 users using the platform right now. So if they pull off something like Ditto did on Solana, you're going to be very, very happy that you've seen this video. So stay till the end and let's jump in. So to understand what Dorado is and does, we need to take a look at their backend, which is Maya protocol and their Maya chain. So Maya protocol is a fork of ThorChain, Big Daddy ThorChain, who was the first decentralized exchange that facilitated cross-chain native swaps. Now, what are native swaps and why are they so important? Why do we need them? A quick history lesson. It is, let's say, September or October of 2022. And you are Bitcoin or ETH maxing, but you're starting to take an interest in Solana, and you wish to retain your exposure to Bitcoin and Ether, but you want to play around in Solana's DeFi ecosystem. So what you do, you bridge your assets, your Bitcoin and your ETH, from ETH or Bitcoin network to Solana blockchain, and what do you get? You get a wrapped version of that token because it doesn't exist natively on Solana, obviously. And what is this? This is just a digital paper, a fugazi, a fairy dust. It's not an elemental chart. It's not real. It's a digital representation of your token on Solana. And November 8 comes, FTX goes bust. And what happens next? Well, all liquidity gets drained. Everyone is flying away from Solana and your tokens lose peg. Your wrapped version of a token doesn't have enough liquidity to swap back into your original asset. And what happens? Well, let's take a look. Bitcoin on Solana is worth 1.6k. On a day that Bitcoin turned 50k, that on a day that Bitcoin crossed 50k again, your version of Bitcoin, which you paid one whole Bitcoin for, is worth 1.6k. With time traveled back to 2015, guys, Bitcoin 1.6k again. So this is the value proposition of ThorChain and all the other forks that we're going to talk about today. They allow native cross-chain swaps of Bitcoin to ETH, for example, and you don't have to worry about breach hacks or exploits or working in DeFi with wrapped versions of a token, so-called colloquially wrapped garbage. So TLDR on ThorChain is it's your cross-chain DEX built on Cosmos SDK. With three main functionalities. Allows the user to swap any asset on any chain into any other asset on any other supported chain, obviously. Also cross-chain lending and borrowing, and natively saving your asset, which means earning yield on a certain chain, on a certain asset. So how does it work in practice? You have your settlement asset, which is Rune. So when you're swapping Bitcoin into ETH, you have a liquidity pool, which consists of Bitcoin and Rune in a 50-50 ratio. So you sell your Bitcoin for Rune. This Rune gets ported on the ETH and Rune LP. And here you buy your ETH with the Rune that you've sold Bitcoin for. It is very capital efficient and pretty remarkable. So if you want to go into more details, you can also go through all the documentation here, and if you have time and passion, by all means, go for it. But in short, we will just touch on synthetic assets because this is one of the most remarkable things I've seen ThorChain implement. So they're like Schrodinger's cat. They have two states of existence at the same time. When you are over-collateralizing in DeFi, usually, when you're borrowing, you need to over-collateralize your loan, your deposit, because there's a risk of liquidation, depegging, and so forth. However, synthetic assets, they operate in a way that when you are depositing, you only need to deposit 100% of what you are borrowing. But when you are redeeming, they are going back to one-to-one peg because of an intricate fee structure that allows them to be maximum capital efficient, but also minimized risk of liquidation and depegging. So now that we understand how ThorChain works, let's take a look at Maya protocol. Maya protocol is basically a leveraged play on ThorChain because they're the same thing with a smaller market cap. We can look at it like that because they use the same principle. They have 50-50 liquidity pools where they have native token swaps, but instead of Rune as a settlement asset and settlement layer, we have Cacao as a settlement asset. However, they're only trying to expand on ThorChain's functionality because ThorChain in its current form does not actually support smart contracts. So they're trying to implement smart contracts, which means that developers will be able to actually, on their Aztec chain, which is still in development, but developers will be able to deploy their new dApps, such as lending and borrowing platforms, perpetual exchanges, and many others. So they're basically finding use cases for the synths we talked about earlier. And finally, we circle back to El Dorado, the famous city of gold, and the first DEX on Maya chain. You will need a wallet, which means that you can either install XDeFi and simply import your MetaMask or Rabbi into it. But if you ask me, you should definitely use Maya Wallet's native wallet, which is the El Dorado Key Store wallet. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You simply set up your password, you save your secret phrase somewhere safe, and you get downloaded a key store file, which you will use every time alongside with your password to log in into your new wallet. So once you're on their website, you need to connect your new created wallet, and we need to fund some tokens from certain place. So first time I used this, I was such a noob. I sent ETH on mainnet to fund this, but now I see that they actually support Kujira deposits, which is by far the best way to actually fund your wallet. So what you would do now is you either go to your Kepler or Leap wallets, you copy paste your Kujira address from the interface, and of course, you go to Kujira chain. Now, the best way to actually fund your Kujira wallet is from MEXC. I found there many different swap routes, but not very good centralized exchange support. So you can just use MEXC. It's very cheap withdrawal. And once your funds are in your Leap or Kepler wallet, you can simply copy paste the Kujira deposit address from the interface and send your assets in that direction. So copy paste the address, make sure it's the right one. So AFC, all right, send the amount that you want, but of course you always save a little bit for gas. And once your tokens are there, you are ready to roll. And once your deposit arrives, you will be able to explore some functionalities such as basic swaps. For example, we've done some swaps from Kujira into Cacao. You would simply select the tokens you want to swap and understand that there's no confirmation here. So once you send the transaction, it is immediately broadcast to the network. But once you have made your swap, you can also look forward to savers, which are going to be coming soon. But you can provide liquidity in symmetric or asymmetric pools. Now there's a whole documentation of what to do when, but if you just want to save yourself a bit of headache, always choose symmetric pools and you'll be just fine. So let's provide Kujira and Cacao, for example, that we've just swapped. And you simply press add liquidity and your liquidity is in. Also keep in mind, if you guys are going for the airdrop on this project, always, of course, use a lot of volume and interaction activity over weeks and months. And lastly, we have Quark protocol, which is a liquid staking project on Kujira. As you can see, we are very early and not a lot of users use it, but if they pull off something like ditto, then we're going to be sitting very pretty. First things you're going to need is Kujira tokens. You can get them on MEXC. That's the easiest way to get your hands on these. And once you've got them, simply fund your wallet, classic withdrawal, and you deposit into your Kujira wallet. I like to use Leap because you want to diversify your wallet usage. In case Kepler or Leap wallet do an airdrop, you simply want to be exposed to both of them. So once your tokens are in, you basically decide the allocation you want to put in, but standard staking rules always apply. Never stake less than $100, and ideally you want to put at least 200 to 250. That would be like the perhaps optimal if you're doing multiple wallets. But everybody makes their own strategy. If you want to know detailed strategies regarding this, you need to be around people who are experienced in this and have already gotten results doing airdrops. So if you're interested in that, you have a private Discord, a community you've been building for over a year, and best information that I've seen in the airdrop space is usually found there. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. You can always drop a like and subscribe if you find the content valuable. Have an amazing day, and till next time.